Hello YouTube, Artichoke Dip here. I've noticed I've gotten quite a few subscribers. I really appreciate it. Thanks a lot, guys, for helping me build this channel and the solo RPG community. It means a lot to me. I know a few of you have asked, hey, what happened? It kind of seemed like I dropped off the grid, and to a certain extent I did. And what wound up happening is I've worked afternoons for the last 10 years of my life, and I was given a job opportunity with a substantial increase in pay, way better benefits, closer to my home, way closer to my home, and on days. And I could have more time with my family and spend more time with my family. So I took the job, and the unfortunate part of it, as far as the gaming went, is normally when I'd be going to bed, I had to report for work now and be on the clock. So it was a very large adjustment for me um, to get adjusted to, and it took quite a while. I figured within a couple of weeks I would be, back on my feet and running, and no, it proved to take a couple of months in order for my system to actually get used to, going from afternoons back to days. So my sincerest apologies to you guys out there. I haven't abandoned you. It's just had some really big life changes come about that I had to kind of conquer and get used to there. So in this video, and before I start, I want to wish all of you guys, happy holidays. I hope they were great. Your Christmas and your New Year's. I hope Santa was good to you and brought you all your gaming needs. And if they did, good for you. So I was asked a couple of questions, and I'm going to address them here and talk about them. One was about solo RPGing with a pre-generated campaign set, and the other one was about how young is too young for children to start D&D, and what should they, the do's and the don'ts, I guess you could say. And I'm going to cover that in this video as well. The first one I want to delve into is the pre-generated campaign. All campaigns that you buy and the reason why you would buy them is the work is already done. The world's already laid out. You have the maps, you got the encounters, you have the brief overview of the entire world, and everything is at your fingertips to save you the time and effort of doing so. But in the forwards of almost every campaign setting, when you read them, it will say in there that you adjust that campaign setting to your house rules, basically, the way that you want to run the world. Now, one of the things about a pre-generated campaign, and I like homebrew campaigns, especially with the solo experience. It's because you can really detail it more to what you want, but you can use a pre-generated campaign. The thing about it is, a lot of the surprises are taken out to a certain extent. And you have to kind of understand that going into this. But it doesn't take away from the gaming. It really doesn't. If anything, I would have to say it would really help because you can detail that world more to what you want, and it allows you to add more to it. As like any pre-generated product for a role-playing system, it's a tool, and when you go into it, you have to look at it as that. And as far as a campaign goes, like I said, everything's pre-generated for you. The work's already done. You just flip through it and set up your setting, and you go. Nothing wrong with that. Whereas if you're making a homebrew, all that work is, of course, on you. You have to generate everything. So, is it hard to adapt a already pre-made world campaign to a solo gaming experience? My answer would have to be no. and I've played it a lot of campaigns solo. Ravenloft, Forgotten Realms. There was also another one that I got that was a third edition printing in the name of Ruins of the Dragon Lord. And I don't know if you can see the box right here. Matter of fact, let me grab it. Just hold on a sec. This is a very cool campaign setting that I've played a lot out of, and I've used a lot. Got a lot of cool ideas out of it. I've had a lot of hours of fun. Now, have I completed it? No. I mean, the world it's a huge world, and you know, I've heard stories where people say that they've completed the whole entire campaigns and seen everything, and it's taken them this many years. You know, if they did, good for them, and you know, hey, game on, my friend. With me, I like to run shorter campaigns. It seems to run simpler that way, and it really seems to keep you into the game and keep it fresh. When you get an extremely long, drug-out campaign in a solo RPG setting, you know, after a while, it can get very dry. And so I try to stay away from that. I try to keep everything, and if you watch my first 3 videos, you get it. I keep everything in a scene, in one scene leads to the next, leads to the next, leads to the next, so on and so forth. And if you use that going into a pre-made campaign, it should be a very fun experience for you. And, you know, the whole thing about the solo RPG experience, like I've expressed before, is that it's all about you. It's about detailing it exactly to the way that you like, in the way you want to play. That's what this is all about. So, with that in mind, don't be afraid. I've already put the first 3 videos up explaining how to do the solo RPG. It's up to you to open it up and go through and start experimenting and figuring out what works for you. So, I hope that answers some questions about, you know, pre-generated campaigns. The second one I want to get into, and believe it or not, it was family of mine that their children are now getting into Dungeons and Dragons, and they're young. And you know, as my nephews were growing up, I played D&D with them and introduced them to D&D, and we had hours of fun with it. And they are now sharing that experience with their children and passing it on. And one of the questions I was asked, it was a really good question, was how young is too young, and what should or shouldn't I do? Okay, well, let's start from the top. D&D is, if you look at any of their products, they suggest the age of 12 and up. Now, as I explained to both my niece and my nephew, is as an adult, it's up to you to go through and read and see what you want your child to be exposed to and what you may think may give them nightmares and you may not want them to play with. And so with that aspect, those are the parts you kind of want to take out. And I guess the better word I would say, G-rate the game system. And as with any young player, you're going to have to understand that their attention span is going to be far less than an adult player, because there's going to be certain things they may not understand and you may have to explain. So you're going to have a level of patience and time and understanding in order for them to fully appreciate the game. But if you can do that, it's a very great experience for them, and it's something, you know, that gets them disconnected away from the television and the computer, and it really pulls them together as a unique family time and a, you know, memorable experience. Now, Would I really expose a child under the age of 12 to D&D? In my opinion, no, because it's a lot of math and it's a lot of reading, and for most children underneath the age of 12, those are two things they really struggle with. And even though for us as adults, as we play this, it's pretty simple for us because it's simple arithmetic and the reading is not really all that complicated, but for a younger generation, it could be. And the reason why I say you may want to hold off to a little bit older is children don't really like to engage with anything that they may perceive to be too difficult. So if you introduce them to the game at too young of an age and they perceive it to be this game that's hard math that they're having a hard time understanding, or words that they can't pronounce that they just don't understand, their first impression of it's going to be, it's too hard, I don't like it. And that's not the impression you want to get. So to answer my question for other people out there, as with anything that you're going to allow your child to watch or engage with, as the adult, it's up to you to proofread it through it first and make sure what they are watching, playing, reading, what have you, is appropriate in your eyes for their maturity level. So with that being said, I'm going to leave off with that question right there. And I'm pretty sure for most of you out there, you're pretty intelligent people, and I'm pretty sure you can figure it out from there. So I know the last time that I did a video, I was talking about minis and the paint the minis and doing a lot of the terrain pieces to make the 3D aspect of the game pop and come to life. One thing that I kind of found out the hard way that I do want to express to you guys is I recently started working with foam, getting the foam core and the cutter and cutting it, which makes really great terrain pieces, really wonderful terrain pieces. The one thing that experience I had, and I should have thought it more through better, but I didn't, and I thought I had proper ventilation and I didn't, and it really got on me and it made me sick for a little while, is when you're using any styrofoam products and cutting, make sure you are in a very properly well ventilated area. If you start to get nausea, headaches, dizziness, it probably means you've been overexposed to burning styrene, which is not good. It's a toxic chemical. So I've kind of with that is going to wait till the spring where I can do that outside. I tried it indoors and I tried the ventilation and everything. It just didn't work. I cannot get enough ventilation through this area in order to properly ventilate it. And so as far as those videos go, me showing you the 3D terrains and how to do, make it out of the styrofoam, and there's a lot of channels out there of other people that can show you how to do that. I was going to do a brief demonstration of what I've done and present them on Artichoke Dip, to help you guys with your game boards and making some props that are relatively cheap and a good bang for your buck. But we're going to have to wait till the weather in Michigan gets a whole lot better, because right about now it's, I think it's minus 11 outside. So Artichoke Dip ain't going outside to cut no styrofoam in that cold of weather. It ain't happening. Okay, guys. Some of the questions that I noticed that I have been getting, and some of the comments, is people said they would like to see me do, why don't you do a game demonstration live so we can see it, so on and so forth. And I have been kind of on the fence about this. One of the reasons why is, to me, it seems like it would make a very boring video to put a video out there of me playing solo RPG for an hour or so. I think a lot of people will get bored with it, and I don't want to do that. You know, I want this channel to be informative, so where you can get something from it, rather than just tuning in to sit and watch me play a solo RPG. But I may be wrong, so I'm going to let you guys decide and leave me a comment on that if that's something that you would like to see. If it is, I will go through and do that and show you how to do a solo RPG. But I'm thinking for most of you, if you have played an RPG in a group or with other people, or have been exposed to RPGs in the past, solo RPGing in the way that I explained it in the first 3 introductory videos, it should be pretty simple. The one thing that I do want to stress is the emulator matrix. That is very important to solo RPG. No, I can't really say that it's really important. You can make your own emulator, but it's already pre-made. You can download it for free off of RPG Now, or you can do what I do. You know, pay your $20, have it shipped to your door, and thank you very much. Some of the other things why I was getting adjusted to the days that I wanted to share with you guys was miniature props. And one of the things that I found at the dollar store, and I was blown away when I found this, were Star Wars figures. Not the figure, you know, of the characters, but actually of the X-Wing fighters, the TIE fighters, the Imperial cruisers and all that. And they were for $1, and I picked them up. And I'll do a video and bring that out. And the reason why I want to hit on that is, as far as miniature wargaming goes, these things would be great representations on a miniature board. And for $1, for your bang for your buck, already pre-painted, ready to go, you just throw them on the game board and use them. And I'm pretty sure if you wanted to be a stickler about it and get into the stats, you could probably find that online. Me, I haven't developed a solo Star Wars miniature RPG or even miniature gaming yet. I just thought they were very cool and they look cool on the shelf, so I bought them and put them up there. Just saying. But I know some of you may be into X-Wing or Star Wars RPG. Me personally, I don't own any of them. Closest I come to it is D20 Mecha, and I integrated a system with that with BattleTech, which is an old miniature system. Integrated the 2 of them, and I played some solo RPGs with that. Kind of interesting. It's one of those I'll have to actually get back into. I'll have to revisit again and do that again, now that I think about it, because I did have a lot of fun with that. There's just a lot of conversion tables because, as you know, BattleTech is a D6, what they call a silhouetted system, and D20 Mecha is obviously D20. So there was a lot of conversion tables I had to make it work, and it was a lot of work, but you know what? It was well worth it when I was done. So with that being said, maybe I'll do a video on that one later on as well. So I don't want you to think Old Artichoke Dip abandoned you. That's not what I did. I just wanted to make this video to touch base with you guys. I am so sorry, like I said, after 10 years of afternoons, you know, not going to bed till like 6 a.m. in the morning, and then, you know, quite literally over a weekend having to turn about and be to work, working at 6:30 a.m. That was quite a life-changing event for me, and but I'm glad I did it. I really am. Old Artichoke's getting time to spend with his family, and it's nice. It's very nice being here in the evenings. And now that I'm getting more accustomed to my new schedule, you can look forward to more videos coming as well. And now that it's winter, it's gaming time. And I do a lot more gaming in the winter than I do typically in the summer months. Just because it's nicer outside, and here in Michigan we get such a small window of decent weather that, you know, you learn to enjoy it before it's gone. And So, with that being said, thank you to all the new subscribers. Thank you for making this channel great. Thank you for sharing and getting my video out there and spreading the word of the solo RPG experience. I know compared to computer games, this is a dying thing. It has a much smaller audience these days than I'm going to say what it used to. And I could be wrong about that, but just with the computer games coming in and as they have over the last years, it seems like the tabletop experience is starting to wane. And I know for a lot of people who may have a hard time finding a gaming group now, for whatever reason it is, I hope that you find my channel very informative, and I hope you have had a great solo RPG experience. Maybe pull some of them books out of the attic, blew the dust off of them, and started utilizing them again, and had some great memories and great gaming experiences, because that's what it's all about. That's what it's all about. It's about having fun, enjoying our hobby, and if you can, enjoying it with a group of friends. And that is always a great thing. And one of the things I was able actually to share in tonight is I actually DM'd a small game for my nephew and his son, and exposed him to D&D for the first time in his life. And when we were done, he was amazed that 5 hours went by like that. And so I asked him, I said, so what do you like better? You like this, the old school, old people way of gaming, or do you like computer gaming? And he just told me, he said, Uncle Rob, he said, this is way better than any computer game. So that made me feel good. And that's what gaming is all about, right there. It is about great memories, having fun, and loving what we do. So with that being said, my sincerest apologies to any of my subscribers. If anybody has left the channel or gave up on me, I am very sorry. Like I said, I had a major life-changing event go down, and literally my whole entire world was turned on its head for about 3 months. So I had to get things sorted out and get my sleeping patterns adjusted to my new lifestyle. So with that being said, Artichoke Dip out. Look forward to more videos. They're going to be coming. I'm getting ramped up with gaming, and it will be coming soon. Until next time, guys, game on.